Will Texas be ready to go? We know who is ready. The Minister of Culture, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew, it's great to see you, man. How are you enjoying being back out here for a little spring football?
I got the tingles walking out here, and I brought my two boys out here today. It's that time, you know, beginning of the year. This is the first time you get to come out and impress, and you see this many people in the stands out here, the excitement, the buzz, and now we go out to see this year if we can back it up. This is when the hopes are the highest, man.
We see you periodically going out and talking to the players and the coaches. What's your best advice that you give them before an event like this?
Before one like this?
Yeah.
Well,
little practice speeches right before the regular season.
But this is a day where, look, you want to get out of here injury-free. You want to come out and see if they're sticking to if it's clean, they're sticking to the fundamentals. You want to see if the guys that are in the 2-hole or the 3-hole are wanting to move it up. You're wanting to see some of these kids hadn't played in front of this many people. What are you going to do? When you see this many, do you go, oh, now let's really turn it on, or do you shell up? So hopefully you see everyone game up at a time like this and show the best of themselves.
After all these years I see out here, I say, yeah, maybe he could be an assistant coach, a positional coach. You ever have fantasies of that, of entering the sports world?
I just go play one of the movies, man.
Hey, before we let you go, what did you make of the Moody Center's grand opening? I know you're out there, just a special event.
And honored that opened. I had a lot of help, but did a lot of good work on that for about 3.5 years. To bring that amenity to the city of Austin, Texas, as well as that amenity for the UT men's and women's basketball team. We're gonna have, if we fill that thing with soul, meaning the fans, we're gonna have one hell of a home field advantage. I mean, the way it's engineered is for a real home court advantage. My favorite thing is the first 270 degrees, the first 10 rows are standing room only student section.
Well, you're gonna be down there with them, right? In the burnt orange suit? We've seen it there before.
Burnt orange suits, I got a cream one with burnt orange trim. I got a few. I hadn't even debuted yet.
Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate it.
All right, now hook 'em, y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, well, the activity has started behind us. We are going to call this game from the field. So a quick break in the orange and white spring game coming up after this on Longhorn Network. You are watching the orange-white Texas football spring game presented by Living Spaces. Live inside Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. I'm Mo Galindo here with Kenny McCarl, Fozzie Whitaker, Michael Griffin. The game has started in a hurry, boys. Let's head to the sideline. Let's start calling this action and see what we got here. Hudson Card comes out first. Roschon Johnson gets the carry. He is now broken into the other side of the field. So guys, the way this scrimmage is gonna work, we're gonna have 2 periods of 11 on 11, about 30 plays each, to see Hudson Card and Quinn Ewers work with the #1 offensive line and each have a chance to go up against the #1 and #2 Texas defense. Fozzie, what are you looking for here in this opening drive with Hudson Card?
I want to see him composed in the pocket. One thing that Hudson Card did last season was hold on to the ball, and then whenever it was time to make decisions, wasn't as precise. So I want to see that be a little bit better in timing aspect today.
So probably will not see too much. Bijan Robinson has a little bit of an ankle issue, but everybody in this house knows what he can do. There's a toss to the transfer from Wyoming, Isaiah Nayer. This was a close to 1,000-yard receiver last season. 6'3" frame, Griff. The sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you just saw what he could do right now. You're looking at Woods. He doesn't know what to do against this type of receiver. So right now, again, on the secondary, you're going to have to press these type of receivers because, especially right down here in the end zone, he's going to have to be able to say, hey, make everything very quick.
Card gives it up to Roschon Johnson running left side. A little mini hurdle and a chunky yardage there before he is brought down. And Roschon Johnson, we saw him literally carry Texas to a win in the regular season finale against Kansas State. He's proved, Kenny, that he could be a feature back if he's needed.
Yeah, he's a dog, man. He runs really, really hard. Obviously, he's a leader. The whole team respects him. That's the type of people we need on this team.
Quick throw to Jordan Whittington. He's had a fantastic camp, according to Steve Sarkisian. Sark felt that he was the best receiver in the first 4 games last season before breaking his collarbone. If he can stay healthy, he can be another elite weapon for whoever is his starting quarterback, Hudson Card or Quinn Ewers. Keelan Robinson now checks in, the electric running back, and the pistol behind Hudson Card at the 10-yard line. And it goes to Keelan, bouncing it out. Keaton Crawford trying to close the gap. Does he get there? Short. And it is going to be short inside the 1-yard line, though Robinson wanted that one.
I mean, he wanted it, but again, you just see the type of speed, and you see the type of thing that Sarkisian is like sitting there trying to figure out. How do I get this guy on the field with these other two running backs?
I think they need to take a look at this. Keelan Robinson probably has a touchdown there. Gunnar Helm leading the way, and it goes to Roschon Johnson. And an impressive early drive here from Hudson Card.
Absolutely. He looked like he had control over the entire offense, throwing really good, accurate balls to Nayor and Jordan Whittington, and then capped off by that explosive run by Keelan and Roschon.
Did y'all just see that block by Jones right there?
It's nasty.
You finish with your man in the end zone, the running back usually follows.
That is a good look at the #1 Texas offensive line as well. Jake Majors at center. Returnee from last season, really thrown into the fire as a young pup. Offensive line is going to be probably the biggest question mark yet again. They're bringing in one of the best offensive line classes in recent history for Texas, but how much can those guys actually contribute in year #1? That's anyone's guess at this point in time.
I'm really curious to see how Cole Hudson already is fitting in. Started with the ones to begin with, so really good opportunity for him.
Now here comes Quinn Ewers, originally committed to Tom Herman in Texas, decommitted, signed with Ohio State, enrolled early, had 2 snaps in a blowout win against Michigan State before coming here. This is what he does, the deep shot, but slightly overthrown, and he was looking for Dejon Harrison.
Dime.
This place would have blown up.
And that was a dime. The thing about Ewers, man, he has all the intangibles, all the arm angles. He has a high ceiling. I know Mike's got Hudson, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
I don't put that blame on Ewers right there. I don't.
That was beautiful.
That was a nice, beautiful ball right there.
So Ewers going up against a lot of the guys on the #1 Texas defense with Deshaun Jamison at quarter. Ryan Watts on the other side. Ewers looking Watts' way, and Nayor brings it down to the 40-yard line.
Moochie.
Hey, it comes out with some spice on it, don't it?
And that's the intriguing thing about Quinn Ewers. A generational talent. That's what he's being called at the quarterback position. One of the highest rated quarterbacks in the recruiting ranking era. I mean, this is big time here from Quinn.
I mean, let's be honest. He has the highest ceiling since BY.
Would not argue that. Jonathan Brooks looking good into the open field sideline before he's forced out by Jaron Thompson. Great to see Jonathan Brooks. He lost his father during spring camp. He has come back strong, making Pops proud.
I mean, he's looking good right now. Again, you just see this second offensive line right now. This second team going against his first team defense right now. I mean, they're looking great right now. So right now, it's going to be a great quarterback battle.
Jahdae Barron at that star position. Fozzie, you've been high on him. Ewers quick flip. There's Jatavion Sanders, second-year tight end, and he has been one of the highest risers in camp so far. The way Coach Flood puts it, he's an inline Y, so he can receive, he can block as well.
Yeah, he's a great physical guy that can do that, as well as not losing a step with putting on extra weight.
It's honestly a lost art, man. You don't see it much anymore.
And Sanders all the way. One-on-one coverage with Deshaun Jamison, bottom of the screen.
About to be a screen.
Ewers looking middle, off the hands of Marcus Washington, and that has been the issue with Washington.
I just had a talk with him, all right, when we was in the middle of the show. I just had a talk
you told
with
him, don't do that.
And he said he's not going to drop any balls. He just told me that.
Steve Sarkisian hoping that Washington can really settle into a #4 or #5 receiver role where they really need him. So he's excellent at doing the dirty work, blocking in the run game. Ewers flush. Heads up play there, because that's been not the criticism, but the part of the game that he needs to expand the most. He's still very young, and as Sark says, learning the nuances of the position.
Yeah, that was a dead screen play right there to JB. Obviously, if there's nothing there, throw the ball at the running back's feet, live to fight another down.
The way Sark puts it, Ewers has the big playability, but there are times when he looks like a kid that still should be in high school as a senior at South Lake Carroll. Some of those 2-minute offense, needing a field goal, forcing a ball, throwing an interception, are backed up at his one and trying to spin out of the pocket. Here's Ewers, the touch to the end zone, and that is too long as he was looking for Kelvonte Dixon.
But you know what? I like that throw. He put that throw only where the receiver could get it. It was a perfectly thrown ball right now. You're taking a chance. You know you're in field goal range right now. So that's a perfect ball right there.
All right. No Dicker the kicker. That will bring tears to Griff's eyes. But first opportunity here for Bert Auburn. It was 3 for 3 in extra points for the Longhorns a season ago. And this has been hit or miss in the kicking game thus far, replacing Dicker.
Make it?
And so far,
Nice.
so good. Bert Auburn, second-year kicker from Flower Mound. Hudson Card engineering a touchdown drive. Ewers leading his offense to a field goal.
Texas football on Longhorn Network is presented by Living Spaces. Buy it today, enjoy it tonight. And in part by Cricket, comfortably off course.
Welcome back to the orange-white game. Keelan Robinson taking it out of bounds as Ewers flushed from the pocket from Moro Ojimo. This is Ewers' shot with the #1 offensive line. Christian Jones over at right tackle. He's got Cole Hudson, a freshman, at right guard. Jake Majors at center. Junior Angulau, who will play a little center to back up Majors. He's at left guard. And then you have Hayden Connor over at left tackle. To Worthy. In space. Trying to get a block from Nayor. Oh, and a big hit.
Blackwell.
Mo Blackwell delivering it. Oh.
Lost. I mean, he is a converted linebacker. He just showed why he played linebacker last season.
It was a good block by Nair, though.
Goodness. So Worthy turning the corner and bracing himself, watching Mo Blackwell deliver that one. Sophomore from Arlington Martin. Ewers rolling, he's got time. Taking the shot downfield. Pretty ball. On the money. Isaiah Nayer from Wyoming back to his home state and into the end zone.
What'd I tell you, Mike? What'd I tell you, Mike?
Why everybody want to look at me?
What'd I tell you, Mike?
Always be the villain.
What'd I tell you?
Villain.
The first for Nayer. The first for Quinn Ewers, the Uber recruit.
Not everybody can do that, Mike.
I can.
Griff, your thoughts on the quarterback competition now?
I mean, both first-team offenses both scored. One offense way to put the ball on the ground. One of them made a great throw downfield. But again, let's not forget that we are going against the #2s right now.
I'm with you.
Okay, let's not forget that.
But that's the ball.
But that is
that's
a beautiful
the ball that everybody's talking about.
I'm not taking away. I'm not taking away from him right now. I'm not taking away that throw. It's a beautiful ball. At a great time with the first offensive line. You're able to put the ball downfield. That's what you expect this year.
Now, let's see some juice from Hudson Card here, right? He got his shot starting the game, led his offense down for a touchdown. Now he's behind the #2 O-line, and he's going up against the #1 defense. Card looking to his right, and no one was there. Marcus Washington, the closest receiver in the vicinity.
Hey, was that Nair with the catch?
Was
Yes,
Nair.
that was Nair with the catch.
I'm 2 for 2 right now.
You like what you see? Kenny, how does a guy like that get out of the state of Texas?
I don't know. There's been a lot of them recently. We got to get him back on the ranch. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to bring him back to Austin.
And there is Jaden Blue, true freshman. This is another one of those guys that should still be in high school, a guy that moved up in classifications to get on campus and did not play football.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So did not play his senior year, so hasn't been a lot of reps for Jaden Blue. He's brought down there with some authority.
Baron Sorrell just set that edge so great right there. That's how you want the D-line to do it every play.
Hey, Sorrell's got that frame, man. What will he become?
There he goes again.
Sack.
Still back there.
There he
And you
goes.
got Devondre Sweat in the picture. You got Baron Sorrell. Hey, Sorrell really flashed when he had opportunities early, especially against Texas Tech last season.
Yeah, no question. I mean, watch this. Just stiff arm, just bull rush. Just a straight bull rush. Just, I mean, that's
and Ovi's there too. Ovi Agofu.
That's abuse right there.
We talked about a pass rush that needed to come alive. I think we're seeing some of that unfold in front of our eyes today with that one rushing group.
Well, Sark has told us that Ovi Agofu has the respect of the entire defense. Had a solid year last season in his first year transferring from Notre Dame, but that's where Texas needs the most help. Besides stopping the run, they've got to have a threat on the edge. We've even heard Overshown could get more looks there.
What I've also talked with Coach Torrey Beckton, our strength and conditioning coach at Texas, is he said Ovi Agofu put on weight, and it wasn't just fat that he put on. He put on a lot more lean muscle to allow him to be an every down edge rusher for this Texas defense, and it's starting to show in his size as he looks more consistent on a play-by-play basis.
So right now, after a stop, it's an automatic 40-yard punt. So that's why the ball has been reset. And Hudson Card with another shot, this time with the #1 offensive line. He's got Jadavion Sanders at tight end. To his left, Xavier Worthy. And Jordan Whittington in the slot. Looking to Worthy. Sideline off the hands. And we have not seen that a lot from the man that produced the most electric freshman season in Texas history for a receiver.
That was a beautiful ball, too.
Great ball. Caught him on the helmet.
And that was Jameer Johnson in coverage, but Xavier Worthy, he didn't just set Texas freshman records for catches, yards, and touchdowns. He completely shattered those previous marks. What a move by Jordan Whittington, and still going until he is brought down, showing what he can do when he is healthy. But let's get into the player spotlight presented by Living Spaces, and we are talking about Xavier Worthy. 62 catches, 981 yards, 12 touchdowns, and once Whittington went down, that's when Worthy took over. Carry to Roschon Johnson, following the block of Arthur. Breaks free from left tackle, looking for the end zone. The 10, Roschon Johnson to the crib.
You want to see that big play ability.
It's amazing what a year would do. You look at last year in the spring game, and we just had a lot of question marks. You look at this year's spring game, and you're just like, hey, this team has a lot of playmakers on it, a lot of guys that can do a lot of great things, and that's what you like to see from this offense.
55-yard touchdown by Roschon Johnson, the unquestioned leader of this Texas offense. So this scrimmage so far all about the big play. Quinn Ewers with that bomb to Isaiah Nayer, and Roschon scampering in from 55 yards out. Welcome back to the Orange-White game. Lowell Galindo here with Steve Sarkisian. Coach, what have you seen so far?
Well, obviously, I think the first offense is moving the ball really well, been effective, created some explosive plays, missed one op there. I thought the first drive of the first defense, we were kind of a little shaky. Then they settled in the last two drives and obviously created a turnover. That was big.
How about the quarterbacks? How have they looked so far?
Well, I thought so far up until the last throw, they were making good decisions, throwing the ball where it needed to go. I thought Quinn might have forced one there, but, you know, that's part of the growing pains. He made a great throw on the touchdown. All right, then he comes back and throws a pick, so we just got to keep working through it.
Coach, appreciate the time.
Thanks, Lowell.
All right, Kenny, let's break this down. Anthony Cook gets that pick from Quinn Ewers. What did you see?
Yeah, that's exactly what Coach was talking about. Like he has the big play ability, but there's these young mistakes that he's going to have to just work through in his career. And honestly, pre-snap alignment, he should have known that the safety was just going to be standing there. So as he progresses, as he gets these reps, it'll get better and better.
So right now, some special teams going on. Griff, you pointed out the defense, right? We knew last season it wasn't up to par. That's not a Texas defense. What have you seen thus far?
I mean, the first series, like Coach Sark said, they looked just like they wasn't in it. They wasn't going through it like they trying to play not to get better. But again, it's just like PK said yesterday. I want to make sure we're going to do everything simple, but let's just make sure we get our jobs done. Everybody gets their job done. The second series, they came out 3 and out. Then the last series, they get a turnover. So that right there is a plus. You hold them to a field goal, you come back with 3 and out, and you come back with a turnover.
All right, we'll have more live scrimmage coming up. The Texas Orange-White Spring Game presented by Living Spaces. You're watching it here on LHN. Welcome back to the Orange-White game. Byron Murphy making the tackle on Keelan Robinson. This will be the second and final 11-on-11 segment with the top 2 quarterbacks, Hudson Card and Quinn Ewers. Ewers ended the last portion with that interception to Anthony Cook. But this is what you're going to get, Fozzie, with young quarterbacks. There's going to be that electric bomb to Nayor, and then you could see him come back with a mistake in the very next possession.
Also, at the same time, I do want to give credit and props to Anthony Cook. This is a guy that just transferred from the star position last season.
Woo! Jordan Whittington to the 35.
Yeah, Anthony Cook converted to safety now, and seeing him make big plays and get more athletic at the safety position is something that obviously Coach Sark and PK wanted to do.
Yeah, Cook has pretty much played every position you can in the secondary
right.
at this point in his career.
That was great ball placement by my boy, Mike.
Now you've got Justice Finkley, bottom of the screen, defensive lineman. True freshman early enrollee from Alabama. That play is whistled dead. They'll mark that as a sack. Finkley's one of those guys that you really liked watching his recruiting film. Compact, twitchy. The way Sark puts it is he is a high-effort player like the guys that lead the NFL in sacks usually play.
Well, you go back to a guy, Joseph Osai. You know he was a high-motor guy. He was a guy that just gave 100% effort at any given moment. You knew he could make a play. So again, you need these type of guys that just go 100%, 110% all the time. He's going to develop those pass rush moves. And right now, as long as you give great effort, you'll be able to get to that quarterback.
Ewers dropping back, looking to his left side. Good hands. There's the Alabama transfer, Jalil Billingsley. So Billingsley, originally from Chicago, signed with Nick Saban in Alabama, had a solid few years there. Obviously, the connection with Nick Saban helps. They bring him here. He's going to be a great addition to a guy like Jatavion Sanders because they complement each other well and more of a force in the pass game than some of the tight ends we've seen here recently.
Well, yeah, you can come in that 12 personnel, and it makes you as a defense have to adjust. Now you can get those mismatches like these 2 athletic tight ends. That can create a lot of problems for a lot of defenses.
Ewers dancing around in the pocket, pressured, and that will be whistled down as a sack. So the defensive line with Myron Warren coming up and forcing that 40-yard punt.
Defense look like they're starting to settle in now.
The second defense, yes.
Yes.
Shalad.
Texas feels pretty good about what they have along the defensive line. Again, a lot of these guys are coming back from a season ago, but when you've got Murphy, Keandre Coburn, Alfred Collins, Tavondre Sweat at 330 plus, Moro Ojimo, you've got something to work with there.
You got a lot of size right there. Look, you got a lot of size right there. You got a lot of size right there. You look, that's a lot of meat right there. That's a lot of size right there.
Big concern, though, the linebacker spot. Is at this point, DeMarvion Overshown and Jalen Ford, those are the 2, and there's hardly any depth behind them, Fawcett.
That's the biggest issue that I see is the depth behind them. They have to perform and do well. Otherwise, Texas could be in trouble from the linebacker standpoint.
All right, let's take a little walk here. Let's get closer to the line of scrimmage. Gunnar Helm, tight end, bottom of the screen. Coaches have been very high on him. He's more of your blocking tight end. Card feeling pressure from Coburn, floating it to Gunnar Helm. Just trying to avoid that pressure there and throwing it away.
Yeah, the defense is getting that pressure. We talked about guys that coming back. Alfred Collins, Tavondre Sweat, Coburn. They all forced in the pocket, really making it difficult for Hudson Card to step up and make accurate throws.
So Kenny, close to us here, number 6, Ryan Watts. That's the lengthy transfer from Ohio State. He's going to be the boundary corner. Why does he end up there?
Because he can be physical. You can allow him to get after guys. You can do different coverage to the field. Allow him to play to his abilities, right? He can come up and run support. A lot of times teams will run that way. So I'm excited to see how he develops.
So opposite that, it's now looking like Deshaun Jamison. They're going to play him off the ball a little bit more, so he stays out of the fray of the running game. Sounds like they're trying to allow him to be more of a playmaker.
No question. When you're in the field, especially in this college realm, you look at these hashes right here. You're on the far hashes. You have Jameis on the far hash. A lot of quarterbacks can't make that throw all the way to that outside. So what you do is allow you to be able to play inside and be able to look at the quarterback at all times and make a play on the ball.
So something interesting that Sark pointed out to us about Hudson Card is on the deep throws. He ends up getting up on his tippy toes, and that causes the throw to be a little flatter, making it more difficult for his receivers to make plays downfield.
But that means you just said he's a slinger, so you know he has a very strong arm, and he trusts that. He tries to put it in there instead of giving some height and allow the receiver to get underneath the ball.
We'll have more from the orange and white spring game. Live from Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium, here on LA Shit. Hudson Card back at quarterback to give to Keelan Robinson for about 5 yards. Coach Sark brought up the dilemma. A guy that is averaging more than 7 yards per carry a season to go, has been electric and amazing in his words. Spring camp, wants to get on the football more, but he said to us, well, what does that mean? Does that mean I give the ball less to Bijan Robinson?
Got to find ways, be creative, and if anybody is creative, I know it's Coach Sark to be able to get him the ball.
Whittington, bottom of the screen. Card throwing underneath to Keelan Robinson. That's a way to get him involved. Trying to shake out of a tackle for B.J. Allen, brings him down. The number 4 safety prospect of this year's recruiting class, the top-ranked early enrollee in the class of 2022.
He's young. He's going to need a lot of experience. It's kind of hard to be that free safety. You got to see everything. Especially at this type of environment right now, it's a lot of moving pieces. It's a lot quicker than it was in high school.
So Gunnar Helm now, the bottom of the screen. Nayor, Whittington, the receivers. Card looking to his right, floats it to the end zone for Worthy. Double coverage there with Johnson and Allen.
It's amazing. I just looked at Card throw that ball right now. He did exactly what Sark says he does. I mean, he ended up on the top of his toes. Instead of just placing the spot and let it get there, he threw it and tried to put it right in there.
So that will be a 2nd and 10 for Hudson Card. Give to Brooks. He's had a solid spring game thus far. Picks up about 5 yards. How you guys feeling about the running back room? What Tashard Choice has to work with?
I think he inherited a great group of talent right there. You look at guys 1, 2, 3, 4. They're proven they can make plays and are very physical whenever they are at the point of attack as well.
So 3rd down for Hudson Card.
Jordan Whittington money right
Jay
there.
Witt shakes off a big tackle attempt and showing the physicality.
I was about to say, you see that physicality right there?
Yeah.
Ran a guy over and it took 4 to get him down. That's what we like to see. Yes.
That was the freshman Larry Turner Gooden from Los Angeles. Meet Whittington. Card with the keep and in.
The mobility.
Touchdown. Yeah, you've been talking about that. You've been talking about that a little bit.
Sneaky. It's sneaky.
Got a little Vince Young in this. No, I'm joking.
They're gonna mark this down though, because no contact. Give it to the man.
Give it to him. Let him run it again.
So here we go. 2nd and goal. Man, being here this close and seeing Nair, woo.
Yeah, I want to see a fade right here tonight.
That's a good-looking frame on the transfer from Wyoming, originally out of Arlington.
Hey, Brooks, get outside. There you go. What are you doing now? Play with your help. Play with your... No, don't you do that.
Where's this ball going, Griff?
I need to see a
It's
high
me.
point
Yeah,
here.
I was going right to him. Handed it.
Brooks instead in a
great play.
tackle in the backfield.
Talk about Brooks. You got to slide outside, huh? Get that alignment right.
No, that was that Devontae Sweat?
53.
It was 53.
Bryant.
Aaron Bryant.
Early enrollee.
So some of the freshmen starting to have the names called here.
I actually did like it. I like Bryant coming out of college. I like it. He's that nasty guy. I like that nastiness up front.
3rd and goal. Jet Bush now playing linebacker. We saw him more off the edge last season.
Inside route.
Card is flushed.
Oh, he got it. He's too
And
fast.
Card is in the end zone. You can't deny him this time.
The mobility, baby, being able to move and escape pressure, make something happen.
Got Mo Bamba in the building.
They're playing Mo Bamba, and Mo Bamba is walking into the house. Where's Mo?
Down by Bevo 15.
But that is something, honestly, Fozzie, you've talked about with Hudson Card. You feel that that could give him an edge over Quinn Ewers, besides the experience, a little more athletic ability.
I think so. Whenever you look at where the part of the offense that is kind of lacking or a big question mark, we already referenced the offensive line. We don't know who the starting five is going to be. And if you have an unstable offensive line, you probably need somebody that's a little more mobile to be able to run the ship at the quarterback position. I think Hudson Card has that extra athletic ability to escape some of the pressure.
And the whole reason this game is being run the way it is, broken up into these small 30-play scrimmages, is because the O-line. They are not too deep on the offensive line. Now, you are getting some of the best offensive line recruits in America coming in, but you're putting a lot on them to make an immediate impact. DJ Campbell, the #1 guard in America. Kelvin Banks, the #4 tackle. It's curious to me, you know, what's the floor and what's the ceiling? What do they absolutely need, and what's the luxury for this class?
Well, right now, you need them to be able to come in and be ready to play. At any given moment, especially with injuries, they may have to play. It may be some growing pains, but the more experience they get, the better it's going to be.
Ewers at quarterback. Pressure from the backside, and Sorrell, and there's Jatavion Sanders, but Jalen Ford, Tavondre Sweat, they were there for the stop.
It's a lot of weight that just landed on. That's
Tavondre Sweat is a large human being.
It's a lot of weight.
Keep in mind with Ewers, a guy that we're watching right now, had a phenomenal sophomore year. Junior year only played a handful of games because he was hurt. Reclassified, did not play as a senior, went to Ohio State. That kind of surprised the Buckeyes. So it would have been hard to get him reps in practice. So not playing your senior year, not playing much your junior year, there hasn't been a lot of practice reps for Quinn Ewers recently.
Yeah, when you look at it, he hasn't played in over a year. Again, he's still young. He still has, he just got on campus January, February. I mean, he's just now getting to know the guys. He's just now getting to know the campus. Again, he has a whole summer ahead of him. He has a whole fall ahead of him. I mean, right now you're seeing glimpses. You see he can throw it to all type of balls or whatever. I'm sorry, Dicker just showed up. I gotta go.
Where is he? Cameron Dicker, get him in here. Do your interview.
Dicker, hey, Dicker, hey, listen, Dicker. Hey, Dicker, they
Throw on the run for Ewers. Looking for Harrison. Go ahead, Griff.
Hey, I really don't. There's nothing to say. We all know he's the best. He's my favorite player of all time right now.
You know he loves you, right?
I know.
Hey, it's all about
It's
Austin.
awesome. Love him too. It's awesome.
Does it at all feel uncomfortable?
The amount he loves me, does that make it hard? I mean, no. It's nice. It's nice to know you always got someone that loves you.
Dicker, they said you had a restraining order on me.
I mean, should I call somebody now?
Makes sense.
I walked over here, so I don't know. Does that break it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Do I got
Do
it?
you have to move away from me, or do I have to move away from you? If you
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know.
I don't know.
Give us a scouting report on Auburn and Pearson. What do you got?
I mean, both guys are good, and it's going to be fun to see both of them. Hopefully they both play next year. You never know. It's just going to be a battle everywhere, so it's exciting to see them.
One thing that we collectively wondered when you were playing, why, when you weren't sweating at all, would you take the Gatorade bottle with water and spray yourself down?
That was my question too.
It's just kind of like a reset process for me, where no matter what happens on the field, when I come off, I spray my head, and everything's new for me. So it's like
we always wondered that.
It was like a baptism. It's good. He just it's a little baptism.
I'm free right after that. Yeah.
So what's going on? What's the process like right now, preparing for the next level?
Doing workouts with teams. Had one today, and then meeting coaches and just kind of seeing where everything goes, and then draft's coming up, so you just wait on that and see where you get a call.
Well, I'm gonna miss you, but good luck with everything.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Cameron Dicker the kicker. Just saw Ewers looking for Jay Wood there, Kenny. little behind number 4.
Yeah. Little high, little behind. That's a timing thing. And as their relationship grows, he gets more reps with them. It'll only get better.
Here's Keelan Robinson. Oh, big thought and brought down. Hello, how you
coming
doing?
through.
So they wanted to get more athleticism on the back end with Crawford and Cook, and both those guys have made plays. Interception for Cook, and Crawford showing some thump.
Now, you know what, right now, the thing that you're starting to see is the defense is starting to play. You're enjoying that, you're loving it. It seems like the offense is kind of slowing down. That's kind of what we saw last year. So let's try to see if Ewers or Carr can get this offense back rolling again. That's what we need to see right now.
Ewers to Billingsley, and hey, it's Texas defense
helmets
now.
are coming off. Helmets is coming off.
Starting to come out and hit a little bit. David Binda there.
Uh-oh. Gotta go.
Hey, Fuzzy, you've seen it. There's a different juice at practice so far in the spring camp.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that lockout period once we get later down in the scrimmage part. That's whenever the juices get flying. Good energy.
Yeah, that is going to be fun. So coming up, we've got a 2-minute drill. Then we're also going to get that red zone lockdown. We got to find some more hard-hitting interviews as well.
Texas football on Longhorn Network is presented by Living Spaces. Buy it today, enjoy it tonight.
Our goal number 1 of every spring game is to come out healthy as Card gets it to Jonathan Brooks. We saw moments ago Devondre Sweat come off the field. Looked like he was favoring his shoulder a little bit. And that is a key cog to the interior defensive line for this Texas team. So Card and Ewers doing their best to make a good impression as Keandre Colburn and his mates on the D-line are there for the stop. Alfred Collins in that mix as well. Collins is an interesting study. Had that awesome play in the Alamo Bowl, wrap up his freshman year, reaching back for the interception. Almost saw him make one of those plays in scrimmage last week. And Pete Kwiatkowski says he's got all the tools, just waiting for him to put it all together.
Yeah, I think this is that moment for him to be able to really feel his moment.
That's a great play right there. That Byron Sorrell right there?
Sorrell has been pretty active.
That was a great play if that's him on the edge. I think that is him.
Yes.
Put that arm out, grab him. It's a grown man play right there. Get him.
We were talking in our meeting about guys that are kind of waiting in the wings, and Sorrell is one of those guys that you could see him putting on some good weight with that frame and looking like your classic edge rusher for Texas. Card tries to spin out of
DJ
it,
Harris.
That is going to be a sack by DJ Harris. So Harris, redshirt freshman from New Caney, 6'2", 235.
Tackle's got to be better with his hands there, man. He just turned the gate.
It's the physicality aspect of it that you want to see from the offensive line, being able to protect, hold up. That was one of the key problems, giving up those pressure rates against the 4 3-down linemen last season. So hopefully they can improve on that the rest of the spring and the offseason.
Well, Steve Sarkisian talked to us about how tough it was with his team handling adversity. Said in the fourth quarter against OU, he felt that that was the first time his guys had faced adversity in the season, and everything went wrong. I didn't believe his team ever truly recovered from that fourth quarter collapse. It led to 6 straight losses, unfortunately. Longest losing streak since 1956. We've got to say hello to the Minister of Culture here. How are you, Matthew?
What's going on?
Congratulations on the Moody Center.
Oh, it feels good to have that thing done. Yeah, man, we put over 3 years of work into that thing. So not only an awesome amenity for Austin, it's going to be a home court advantage for men and women's basketball teams for sure.
Hey, why do you love this place so much?
Well, man, it was good to me, and I tried to be good to it. I was here 89 to 93. I almost ended up going to SMU.
Why would you go to SMU, McConaughey?
Exactly.
What were you thinking?
Would not have all worked out.
No.
I mean, what the hell makes
They don't need a Minister of Culture and Highland
Anyway,
Park?
Glad I didn't in '89. Came here, and look, man, my best friends in life, the career I've got now, the life I got now, I choose to live here. I can live anywhere I want. It all started right here for me in '89, '93 when I was in school here. And I've been here since, and, you know, I've gotten to know different players, different coaches, administration, teaching class over at College Communication. I got a life here that I love.
Hey, I got to let you get another shout out.
Come on.
Big 10-year anniversary coming up, MJ&M.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Kenny Chesney's showing up at the 10-year anniversary here next Thursday night. Come on.
Congratulations on that. And on behalf of everybody, thank you for everything that you do for this university, for this community as well.
Well, my pleasure. Really love living here, love the university. Hook 'em. Let's go.
There we go. Thanks, Matthew. Minister of Culture right there does not get better than that. Doesn't get better than that. SMU? Ooh. Doesn't seem right. Back to the football. Here's Hudson Card. And to the 50. And that is Jatavion Sanders. So Sanders was a top 20 recruit last season. Sark said basically arrived as a defensive end and a wide receiver. Those were the spots he was playing in high school. Really was pushed by the staff to embrace everything that it takes to be a tight end, blocking and the receiving aspect. That is a good pick to click to be a breakout player for the Texas offense.
Absolutely. Just look at his frame, man. He can do it all, especially in the red zone. We saw last Saturday. Made a beautiful catch right in the back of the end zone in the scrimmage. I think he has that big play ability.
Yeah, I'm excited about him too because he has the mentality to be a true Y. Like Mike knows, it's a lost art. A lot of these tight ends are just splitting out in the slot. They don't want no problems, but he can do both.
To Rochon Johnson, chased down by Richardson. There is that stiff arm. I tell you, when Bijan went down, Rochon started to do the stuff that Bijan Robinson does. We saw it late in the season against Kansas State. The one-cut ability, this stiff arm, guy has got game.
I mean, he can do it all. You just saw a minute ago. I mean, he just went ahead and took it 57 yards. But you know, he's a strong, tough runner. You know he can carry the team on his back, and that's what you love to see out of him.
Card to the right side, Jordan Whittington, and there's Jahdae Barron and Jaron Thompson on the stop. That gets this offense inside the 30. Card working hurry up now.
So it's a 2-minute drill right now.
Free play.
And Sanders getting out. So we are in the 2-minute drill portion of this scrimmage. So the way they're approaching this, they're approaching it like it's the end of the first half, looking for a field goal, not necessarily a touchdown. But of course, if you get the touchdown, you're taking that all day.
Always. Always. And this is good on good right now. You look at who's out there. A lot of these guys are starters or projected starters, so it's really good work for both sides of the ball.
So this is right here where you start looking for your pass rushes. This is where you look for your pass rushes at.
There's Prince Dorma, bottom of the screen, trying to get in there on Card. Card
out of there, Card.
just has to throw it away, looking at that clock, and is able to do so with 10 seconds left. He was looking for Isaiah Nair, but also keeping in mind that completions in the middle of the field, not getting out of bounds at this point in time, that's working against you. So Jamison and Watts, your corners. Barron playing the star position inside. Card with the bullet. Oh! Jatavion Sanders! How did he catch that? Oh! Jaron Thompson is taking it the other way. Are they saying the ball is down?
Oh, no!
What are they saying here?
No!
That was a great
Did you see those hands?
Did you see the ref go down?
Yeah, that was a great
That's a great smart play.
catch.
Oh
JT.
my goodness. And to stay up as well.
Oh no, that's
got to be a fumble.
That's
though,
a fumble.
Right? That's got to be a strip.
fumble.
Yeah,
that's a fumble.
That's a fumble.
Don't you do it, Sark.
Jaron Thompson took that away.
I will say this. I'd like to see the O-line sprint up there and get him in the
Push him in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Get him
Might not
in
have
there.
had time, but when you have an O-line with a strong mentality, they will literally pause. They'll push you in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Get their teammate in there.
Get that extra yardage.
All right, so here is Bert Auburn coming on. Isaac Pearson holding.
Where's he at? Where's the ref with the U on the back? I got to
Ball
ask him if
spotting
he's okay.
at the 2-yard line. So this should be a gimme for Auburn. Sarkisian has tried to put his new specialist in as many stressful situations as possible. Just never knows how to get a good read on these guys, and there it is. So 2 for 2 for Bert Auburn here.
It's a turnover.
As a DB, I understand where you're coming
That's
from.
a turnover.
That obviously looked like he was stood up and
He was fighting. He was doing everything he could. He wanted to be the strong.
We'll have more to come. I'm looking forward to this red zone lockout. It's going to be exciting. That will wrap up the orange and white game when we return. So 2-minute drill time for Quinn Ewers. Unfortunately, pretty good pass off the fingertips of Marcus Washington. Second drop for him so far this evening.
I think I'm about to walk over there and go talk to him.
You're going to go talk to Marcus?
I got to get on.
I think that would be frowned upon in the middle of the game.
I know, but I got to have a talk with him.
That was a great back shoulder throw by Quinn. I wish he could have came down with it.
So they have now put 5 minutes on the clock. As you have gathered, a lot is going on very rapidly. There is a script, but it's being loosely followed in terms of time. So what do we got now, Griff?
I think it's that. What's that drill that they're doing?
The red zone lockout?
I think it's the red zone lockdown.
Are we going red zone lockout?
If they got the 5 minutes, I don't. It's
No. Because you remember
this is going to be another
young guys.
5 minute
young
scrimmage.
guys.
Yep, this is to get everybody an opportunity to get in, to show out.
Got Alford out there.
So you got Charles Wright in at quarterback.
Austin native.
Austin High School. Jaden Hullaby has been moved from linebacker to running back. And we saw some pressure there by Chris Hannon. So I do like how Sark does this. Knowing he's got a limited rotation once the season actually starts, it does feel it's important for these guys to come out, have an opportunity. This may be, for some of these guys, the only chance they have to play in front of people here inside DKR. And someone needs to get that football.
Defense got it.
Someone trying to hop on top of that. Take another quick break and get set for the red zone lockout coming up. Welcome back to the orange-white spring game here on Longhorn Network. Lord Galindo, Fozzie Whitaker, Michael Griffin, and Kenny Vaccaro watching it unfold from the sideline. Cole Lord now in at quarterback. This is going to be the final 11-on-11 scrimmage period. An opportunity for some of the threes to get in there. Whoa, making the most of their opportunity. They're not wasting time.
Terrence Brooks with the hit.
Better get your pads down right there.
Terrence Brooks, number 16 cornerback prospect of the nation out of Little Elm, Texas. Look at this incoming recruiting class for Steve Sarkisian. Talked a lot about it on signing day. Address the biggest areas of need. Defensive line, offensive line. The question is, though, how long will it take for some of these guys to make an impact?
Fortunately, Texas doesn't have a lot of time to wait for a long time. So some of these guys are going to have to come in and make an impact immediately.
That's like it or not situation. It's win now. 5-7. You're looking at a Texas program that has lost 7 games in 4 of the last 8 seasons. We thought 2010 was the bottom, right? And
right.
Never go back there again.
Right.
4 times in the past 8 seasons. Something has got to change, and it's always now, right? It always has to change now.
Absolutely. And even last season, I understand they lost 7 games. They were 5 of them, 1-possession games. So they just got to find a way, and 4 of those ended up being because they had a second half lead. They got to find a way to finish and close games, and especially whenever the game is close.
Doing my best 40 to get down here to Coach Sark. Hey, Coach, we've got this red zone lockout coming up. What is this all about?
Oh, it's a really cool competitive drill. We played at 18 points, which I know sounds like an odd number. The offense scoring is easy. If they score a touchdown, they get 7 points. If they kick a field goal, they get 3. Pretty simple. The defense scores. If they hold them to a field goal, the defense gets 4 points. The defense gets 7 points, all right, if they get a turnover or a turnover on downs. But you got it, the first team to 18 points wins. Offense versus defense. It's a great drill.
So if you're lining up at quarterback with this Texas offense, who's the guy on the other side that concerns you the most?
Well, our front has been playing pretty good today. Obviously, in the back end, I'd keep my eye on Jamison. He's been a ball hawk all spring.
We'll see how it all unfolds. Bon Jovi fan, by the way?
You know, Blaze of Glory, you know, I mean, he's got some real songs now.
So the Young Gun 2 album, big fan of that, huh?
For sure, for sure. I'm a little younger, you know, Lowell. I don't.
That's my favorite as well. Thanks, Sark. Appreciate you. All right, we got the good stuff coming up inside the red zone when we return here on Longhorn Network. Welcome back to the Orange-White Spring Game. Time for the Living Spaces Player Spotlight, focusing on Quinn Ewers out of South Lake Carroll. Prolific high school career. You look at those numbers and keep in mind, injured most of his junior year, did not play as a senior. And here we go. Ewers is bringing out his offense for the start of lockdown. Sark took us through the rules. So far, the defense has won this once in spring, and we've had the offense won it once. So a lot on the line here. This is when the guys typically get most fired up, Kenny.
Yeah, I'm looking to see
Quinn
nature
be really good in these red zone situations.
So ball starts at the 25. To Robinson, taking it right side, looking for the moves. Richardson is there along with Watts and Jalen Ford. Who's your money on, Griff? Who do you got?
Right now, I think I'm going to go with the defense right now. I'm going with the defense. I'm looking on the outside right now. I feel like Jamison's out there just waiting on something to happen right now.
You were scrambling, throwing on the run, looking for Nayor, but that's off the fingertips.
Is that 3 and out right now?
A little too high.
Going for it on 4th down, remember.
No, I think it's field goals. So remember, field goals, the offense will get 3 points, the defense gets 4 points.
Thought he was
So
going for it.
that puts the focus on the offense. They've got to get into the end zone. Our defense, they keep getting stops, and they will win this. So here we go. This field goal, if it is good, 3 points for the offense, 4 points for the defense. Here's Auburn. 2 for 2 so far for the second-year kicker. Up. And good.
It's good. 4-3. 4-3. That's a defensive win right there.
It's a defensive win. They get the hold and did that quickly, as the Texas offense was not able to gain much traction there.
Very curious to see how they respond on this next series. I know it's a different group of guys, but can the defense continue to maintain that momentum that the ones just started off with?
So you got big Byron Murphy coming in, along with Vernon Broughton, who's trimmed down 20 pounds in the offseason. Justin Finkley, Barron Sorrell, they're going to be the defensive line. Card has Jaden Blue to his left, Billingsley and Sanders at tight end at the bottom of the string. Throwing over the middle. A big hit. Washington stays up. Looking for the pylon, going left side. And he's inside the 10-yard line. Marcus Washington, big play.
What a physical catch right there. Knowing he's about to get hit. Does not care, hangs on to the ball, breaks the tackle, and then continues to gain positive yardage to get inside the 10-yard line.
That was Keaton Crawford with the thud. So now lining up inside the 10-yard line. The early enrollee in the pistol, and he gets the carry to the right side. Slipping through inside the 5. Crawford is there again with the stop. And Blackwell into the action.
I like that run by Jaden Blue there. The young enrollee.
43, you got to get in there. Come on,
gets
43.
in,
Taking too much
breaks
time.
a tackle, and then the O-line gives that push that Kenny talked about earlier in the scrimmage.
Offense looking for 7 points. Defense can get 7 for a turnover or a turnover on down. Looking for the fade. Washington is covered by Terrence Brooks. What you think about the coverage, Griff?
I think it's perfect right now. You stayed inside coverage, you pushed him out wide, you pretty much gave him a small to no window to make that catch.
Billingsley in motion. Blue. Oh, a big stop. It looked like his momentum would take him into the end zone.
Now it's 4th down. The question is, does Sark go for it?
Hey,
or does he go take the point?
What did he tell us yesterday?
It's a gut feeling right now.
There is a book. He does look at the analytics, but momentum and his gut usually gets the final say.
See, this is big for the defense. If they win this, they walk away with 7 points.
Playing to 18.
So do you think Sark makes the decision or the quarterback gets to because it's his team?
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's a competitive game.
Well, you know Card wants to go for it. Looking left side, and that pass is broken up. Looking for Moochie Dixon, and Jameer Johnson is there. Give your defense 7 points, Griff.
7 points. Hey, you're only 7 points away from winning this right now.
Phenomenal coverage right there. If you want to talk about a contested catch, that's where you want your DB, especially whenever you're playing right there, backed up, the goal line. Got to be able to be physical at the point of attack, and that's what he did.
So the defense with the 11-3 lead, a turnover. Our turnover on downs wins it for the D. And they've got the big dogs in. Devondre Sweat, Alfred Collins, Barron Sorrell up front, Richardson and Ford at linebacker. Ovia Gofu in there as well with Deshaun Jameson and Jaron Thompson. Anthony Cook back at safety, and on the far side, Ryan Watts at cornerback. Jonathan Brooks, he's had a solid spring game. He is a running back for Quinn Ewers. Play fake, looking for Gunnar Helm in the flat. Good hands, tries to cut it up, but Gofu was there for the stop.
Great open field tackle right there. Great open field tackle by Gofu.
Ewers over the middle, and there it is. Woo! A touchdown strike to Xavier Worthy. There will be plenty more of those to follow for the rising sophomore star.
Did you see the angle he had to do? How many hands was in his face? Had to move around, throw from a little sidearm angle as well to be able to fire that ball accurately to Xavier Worthy.
The thing I don't like is Jameson's cover skills. Right there, he should have been inside. It's obvious. Any play action pass or whatnot, it's going to come inside. You know your safety bites up. You got to get inside. You got to use the out of bounds. You got to use the back of the end zone as your extra safety, and that's something he didn't do. He stayed on the outside. Easy post route right there.
No, you're exactly right. It's day one install, inside leverage in the red zone. You got to use the back line and the out of bounds as your help. That's all you got, really.
So defense can still win this with a stop. First to 18 wins, defense leading 11-8. 11-10, excuse me. 3 points for a field goal for the offense, 7 for a touchdown, traditional scoring. Defense would get 4 for a field goal. Card feeling the pressure.
Got to throw it away.
Card pressured by Jeb Bush, who finds his way into the backfield. And Jeb Bush, not the biggest guy.
That didn't pass the line of scrimmage right there, so that is an intentional grounding.
I was even questioning, did he even get outside the tackle box?
Lost it down for the spot of the pass. Second down.
So second down, and that backs up Hudson Card. That's Texas offense. It's working with young players on the offensive line right now. Jalen Garth, the right tackle, got some run with the ones with Andre Carrick dealing with a high ankle sprain. Up the middle, Blue brought down quickly by David Binda.
That was a phenomenal read by Bindle right there, be able to minimize that screen play.
So now a 3rd and 24.
3rd and 24. If you don't get it, your field goal kicker has to come in and make it.
And on the mark, Tamuchi Dixon, Jameer Johnson, and Blackwell are there. And so that's certainly helping the cause for Hudson Card. And that is going to bring on the kick team.
Yeah, I love how Coach Sark set this drill up to put the team in different situations.
So game potentially on the line here. If Auburn connects, the game goes on. If he does not, the Texas defense, I believe in this scoring system, will get the win. Here's Auburn.
Defense wins.
The defense wins wide right, and that will put a wrap on the orange-white spring game. So, Griff, what did you think about that final stand there by your Texas defense?
I mean, right now, I just think they did a phenomenal job. It started off, you know, in the beginning, they was giving up a lot of deep balls. They were doing things, but they ended off like that to be able to make a stop, put pressure on the quarterback, to be able to, John Bender doing a great job right there, putting it in a crucial situation, making them having to make a field goal, winning it that way. That's a great sight that you like to see.
Kenny, what was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest takeaway from what we saw?
I liked how the defense settled in early, started being more physical, started getting stops. Because at first, like I told Foz earlier, I thought they were playing thud for a little bit, but then they started getting together, and that just shows that they can come back from adversity. I know it's a small sample, but you like to see that grow from last season.
Looking at the quarterback battle, everybody knows that's probably the biggest attention that'll be the grabber for today. And I thought both of the quarterbacks battled very well. Obviously, you had the turnover by Quinn Ewers, but he made some very spectacular plays whenever you look at how many touchdowns were scored by the offensive side of the ball and through the air, might I add. I know that it was very, very electric from what both of those two were able to provide. But I think it's still going to be a really good evaluation process for Coach Sark and the rest of the offensive crew and the coordinator to be able to figure out who's going to lead this team come
Good to see some of those new faces for Texas. Isaiah Nair had himself a touchdown. Jaleel Billingsley, the transfer from Alabama, solid as well. And Ryan Watts, transfer from Ohio State at corner. Of course, so McConaughey on hand. He probably wants to see Quinn Ewers slinging it, and slinging it he was. Next up, the real deal. Season opener against Louisiana Monroe. But until then, we got Texas Game Day Final coming up next, right here on LHN.